Hello, I'm Jordan Guth, the host of the SoundStage Audiophile podcast, which is now in its 4th season. I'm also one of the SoundStage videographers, and the video team just got back from shooting videos in California. The first stop was for SoundStage Recordings, our new music venture featuring albums created by super producer Mark Howard, the famous recordist behind Bob Dylan's Grammy-winning Time Out of Mind and other amazing recordings. The next stop was at MSB Technology, maker of super high-end DACs and amplifiers. Those videos will be online in the future, but in this video, I'm here to tell you what's new on the SoundStage Network for February 1st. Over on SoundStage Australia, editor Edgar Kramer reviews the Marantz Link 10N streaming preamplifier, which is part of the company's flagship 10 series. In his review, Edgar calls the Link 10N a supremely built and elegantly styled chassis that outweighs some integrated amplifiers. Then adds, the Link 10N packs an enormous suite of functions and capabilities that, on their own, could fit an entire small website. Coming soon to SoundStage Global is a new installment of senior editor Jason Thorpe's My Audiophile Neighborhood series. This time around, you can read about how Jason ambushed his neighbor Rob with a pair of PMC's huge MB2 SE loudspeakers. They're a pair of stand-mounted monitor speakers, kind of like your Focus Audios, Jason told Rob, then said, "You won't mind receiving them, setting them up, and breaking them in for me, would you?" Later this month, Jason will join SoundStage founder Doug Schneider in Tampa, Florida, where they'll attend Florida International Audio Expo. You can read their coverage of the show on SoundStage Global starting on February 20th. On SoundStage Ultra, you can read Jonathan Gorse's review of Townshend Audio's Allegri reference preamplifier, which Jonathan calls the most unusual preamplifier he's ever reviewed. He concludes, the Allegri reference delivered a wonderfully open window into every recording I played across all genres. Then adds, Townshend says the Allegri reference has been developed to silence the noise and elevate the music, and that's exactly what it does. Since taking the helm at SoundStage Ultra, senior editor Jason Thorpe has focused on ultra high-end gear. But recently, Jason replaced the integrated amp he'd been using in his upstairs music system with a WiiM Amp Ultra, which costs a smidgen over $500 US. Jason writes, audiophiles who gravitate to the high end are so busy trying to squeeze out the last crumb of performance from their multi-kilobuck system that they likely wouldn't even consider this product. But any high-ender who actually touches the Amp Ultra, who sees it, feels it, hears it, would undoubtedly wonder why they need to spend so much money on their system. On SoundStage Access, senior editor Dennis Berger reviews iFi Audio's Zen DAC 3 headphone amplifier DAC preamplifier. The Zen DAC 3 supports high-res audio up to 768 kHz, PCM, and DSD 512, and has a single-ended and balanced pre-outs along with a headphone output. The Zen DAC 3 delivers the goods in terms of performance, ergonomics, and reliability, Dennis writes, then concludes, this is another winner for iFi. In a thought-provoking editorial, Dennis discusses the post-boomer future of the audio industry. Dennis says the hi-fi manufacturers will have to evolve to adapt to the fact that younger generations are more suspicious of marketing claims of any sort. It will have to accommodate an audience that values experiences over things. And we'll have to adapt to the fact that video games are a massive part of the entertainment experience for most people under the age of 50. On SoundStage Hi-Fi, George Assad reviews Dynaudio's Contour 20 Black Edition stand mount loudspeaker. A two-way design with technology trickled down from the Danish company's flagship Confidence series. George says the Contour 20 Black Edition is a loudspeaker for the discerning ear, one that values honesty over hype and refinement over ostentation. In his monthly editorial, Doug Schneider outlines a series of events that led to the creation of the new venture I mentioned earlier, SoundStage Recordings, a collaboration with music producer and recording engineer Mark Howard. Mark Howard is a native of Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and has worked with acclaimed artists such as the Neville Brothers, Willie Nelson, Tom Waits, U2, The Tragically Hip, Neil Young, and, as I mentioned, Bob Dylan. Twice! The first 3 releases from the new label are already in the can and will be released as limited edition LPs. They feature artists from Hamilton, Los Angeles, and New Orleans. On SoundStage Simplify, senior editor AJ Wykes discusses the recent failure of 2 manufacturers that specialized in high-end streaming components. Orlik, based in Hong Kong, and Cocktail Audio, based in South Korea. The party's over for pure play premium streaming hardware makers operating in isolation, AJ writes, then states. Companies can accept the reality and adapt, or they can insist the market is wrong and follow Arlick into irrelevance. I suspect we'll see more of both in the years ahead. On SoundStage Experience, music editor Joseph Taylor interviews recording engineer and producer Mark Howard about his career working with famous musicians and his new collaboration with SoundStage Recordings. Chances are you've listened to and loved some of the recordings Howard helped make. On SoundStage Solo, senior editor Jeffrey Morrison reviews Fosi Audio's i5 headphones. The Fosi i5s are interesting headphones, Jeffrey writes, then continues. There's a lot to like, not least their big sound with a wide and compelling soundstage. While big and heavy, they're comfortable and look great. In his monthly column, Jeffrey outlines new headphones and portable audio products that were introduced at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas in early January. Here's some coming attractions on the SoundStage Network. Coming to SoundStage Hi-Fi on February 15th is Roger Cano's review of the H150 streaming integrated amplifier from Hegel Music Systems, which is based in Norway. The H150 features a built-in phonostage and a network streamer that supports Apple AirPlay, Google Cast, Spotify Connect, Qobuz Connect, and Tidal Connect. Also on February 15th, SoundStage Ultra will have Phil Gold's review of the 232 integrated amp from Burmester Audio System, which is based in Germany. On March 1st, SoundStage Access will have Dennis Berger's review of Kef's Q Concerto Metastem mount loudspeakers. Finally, I want to mention a new video that's coming to the Practical Audiophile video series, which I'm the creator of, on our YouTube channel. It features the Kef Zio soundbar. Look for it soon. Thanks for watching and see you on February 15th.